Full-time reaction to Celtic 4, Livingston 2. I've got Martin with me. Martin, we're in the semis. I felt like that was a wee bit more complicated than it otherwise should have been, though.
Despite the pre-match bad news with Carter Vickers and of course the captain, we already knew the captain was going to be out. I went into that game feeling quite confident. I don't know why, because our form has been really inconsistent, but I just felt playing the bottom of the league, a team that have really struggled recently. And I was kind of expecting another Dundee, if I'm being honest. I'm thinking, get a few goals, get the job done. In the first half, didn't make me feel any different. I thought we dominated that first half. We played a lot of the game in their 18-yard box. But Livingston took their goals really well, and then when it went 2-2, I thought, oh my goodness, anything could happen here. And that was a long 30 minutes before we got the third goal. So just glad to be through, really.
I think positives, Kuhn probably his best performance so far, from a low bar though, because he's been really disappointing, but great ball in for Maeda's first goal. Maeda obviously ends up getting a hat-trick in the day, but defensively I think the goal's really poor. I mean, it's almost from nothing in it. I think Scales makes a clearance out to their left back area and it's one ball forward in behind Welsh, and to be fair to Daizen Maeda, it's a good finish, but I mean, 5 clean sheets. We haven't kept 5 games since we kept a clean sheet, and we just seem really soft-centred, don't we? I know we're missing Carter Vickers, but I just think defensively we're so easy to get at.
I had a look at the clean sheets sort of midway through the second half in the programme, and I think 39 games this year and we've only had 13 clean sheets. So one clean sheet in 3, and in the last 8 games only 1 clean sheet as well. So it's not as if it's a historic thing that early in the season we're struggling. It's been throughout the season. 1 clean sheet in 3 is not good enough, and because of that, it's creating a bit of animosity in amongst the fans. You're sitting on the edge of your seat, and we're just getting over the line in some of these games. So that's probably the biggest frustration. Keep keeping the ball at our own net. I mean, that record's nowhere near good enough. It's nowhere near what we'd expect. I don't know what the numbers were last year, but I'm sure they were significantly better. But both goals today, I mean, are both great finishes. Both great finishes. Both of them I thought were verging on offside. I think both went to VAR, and of course it was proven they weren't offside. But really disappointing, because with both the Livingston goals, the players had far too much space. We gave them far too much space. Think about that second one, got the opportunity to turn back inside. There was a chance to go and take the ball off the player.
I thought it was really poor from O'Reilly for that goal, because he loses it too easily and near the halfway line, doesn't he? And then they're in.
Really passive, and we've not had a settled back 4, but I think some of the goals are coming from out wide, so it's not like you can blame the centre backs. It's across the whole of the defence. Really disappointing. I think that's an area part we need to focus on sooner rather than later. There's been a lot of talk about wingers and strikers and different areas of the park, but I think defensively we were struggling just now.
Yeah, and I think for long spells in that second half, after Yengi gets the equaliser to make it 2-2, similar theme to a lot of games this season. It didn't really look, we weren't creating chance after chance, and you think the goal's coming. It does come from Maeda, 86 minutes, and we work that well, but there was long spells in that second half where, again, we say we're missing key players, like McGregor, who's important for us. We've been missing Hatate for long spells this season, but I felt a real lack of quality and cutting edge at times in that second half.
We couldn't make up our mind, because there was a short period where we were starting to play the high balls, and we're thinking, playing the high balls against that big physical Livingston team, and at least half those players are huge lads. So playing the high ball wasn't working, and playing the pass out wide, and quite often, again, the big tall players are coming in, big long legs, and are just taking the ball off us. So we're really struggling to find some creativity. But after such a good first half, I thought the first half we were all over them and played really deep in their half, but the second half just felt completely different. And I think some of that came from the pressure, it being a cup game, and thinking, wait a minute, Livingston have got the equaliser, and they had a couple of really good chances, almost on our within our 6-yard box, and it was a scramble, and thinking, if they get the third goal before we do, we're in trouble. I
remember Joe Hart made a good save right after the second goal for them to stop it from going 3-2. Where do you think we're at? We've been constantly looking for shoots of growth and momentum this season, and every time you seem like we might be onto something, the next game it falls apart again. Where do you think we are just now after that?
So there's definitely no momentum, is there? Because you go through that season and you're thinking, great result, great performance, we've turned a corner, and then a disappointment. It's just been that roller coaster of the season, and it still feels like that. I think if we're lucky enough to get in the final, we've still got a semi-final to win, and no guarantees, because it's looking like it's going to be a strong final 4. But if we do get through that and get in the final, we've got 11 games now, 11 massive games. I mean, the next 2, St Johnstone and Livingston. Looking at Livingston today, we've got to go to their place. So that's not going to be easy. And in St Johnstone at home, you would think, and then we've got Rangers, don't we? We've got Ibrox. and then after that top 5 in a semi-final and a final. So it does feel a little bit like 11 finals, because we've probably got to go out and win all those games, haven't we?
Yeah. The problem is for us this season, every single game's a struggle. There's rarely a game. I know we had it with Dundee recently, but that was the first one for a long time as well, where you think, do you know what, that was a nice easy win where we've performed really well. Every single game's a slog in it.
Well, even thinking about, he does come in and we thought, brilliant, we're going to get a wee run of form from him, and he had a couple of consecutive really good performances, good games, got some goals. He misses the penalty at Hearts, underperforms today. I watched him go up the tunnel, tops off, he's away, fairly bad, no staying to watch the rest of the game. Maybe there's something in that, maybe he took a knock, I don't know. Maybe he was away up the road early for Mother's Day, I've no idea, but disappointing even just to see his persona today, and he didn't play particularly well. Just looking for stuff like that, him coming in and keeping that run of form going, but again, individual players' forms are up and down, and therefore as a result of that the team's performance is up and down, so it is hard to take much from today's performance other than we showed a bit of character and a bit of grit to get the winner. Maeda was fantastic today, and he hasn't been particularly good, so I suppose that would be one of the highlights today. He was unlucky not to get a fourth goal, the one that hit the bar. He played really well.
Don't know how that never went in.
But where we go from here, I mean, we need definitely to strengthen it the next opportunity, don't we? We need to invest a lot of money in this team. Yeah,
absolutely. Today, obviously Maeda gets the hat-trick. Is he the shout for man of the match?
Oh, definitely. He was really good. I mean, he beat the offside trap for his first one. He was just really alert. I thought, it wasn't just his pace today. His new look maybe helped him as well. He had a bit of I didn't recognise him at first, but I thought he was really good. And I see, particularly in that first half, I thought Celtic were good as a collective team. We just didn't get a couple of goals ahead. Well, we didn't get that leeway to go away and get a third or fourth goal, and therefore remain nervous. But for me, Maeda was a standout by a mile, I thought, today.
And just finally, some rumours about Callum McGregor, Carter Vickers. Massive players for us. We've made heavy work a lot of games this season with them. We're a damn sight worse off without them, so hopefully they are back soon. And I mean, I see a rumour earlier that Callum McGregor might miss the rest of the season, which would be a massive blow for us. You
look at areas of the pitch, pockets of the pitch, and at the back it's Carter Vickers. When he's absent, we really miss him. We missed him again today. So big at the back. I mean, in the middle, for me, it's always been about Hatate and McGregor. Of course, we've got both of them out just now, albeit O'Reilly's come on leaps and bounds. He's a big player for us now. We're all desperate for Iwata just to be consistently good, and he hasn't yet been that, but he's shown us that he's got a lot of core capability. We just need to see our run it. In fact, he's going to be massive in the last 11 games, isn't he? If
McGregor's out.
If McGregor's out, we're going to really rely heavily. And then we all want players like Bernardo again to step up, but it hasn't happened. So it's like we've got O'Reilly sitting in there, and there's a huge bit of pressure on him. At the back, you're relying on people like Scales. I mean, Welsh didn't play well today at all, did he? So the guys that are coming in, it's not just the fact that you're missing your best players, it's the guys that are replacing them are nowhere near as good. And today's bench, again, I didn't think was particularly strong. So we'll miss McGregor, and I'm hoping that Carter Vickers is just off for Mother's Day and he's going to be back soon.
That hamstring again, let's hope not. That's it for today. We'll see you next week for the build-up to St Johnstone. Cheers.